Well, good evening, everyone. Members of the Institute and the New York Society, friends and supporters. As we say in Australia when commencing formal proceedings, we often say, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, in this case perhaps the Lenape people, and the land we have gathered on today. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, for they hold the memories, the traditions and the culture and the hopes of traditional people everywhere. So it's indeed my privilege and pleasure to be back here again in the Big Apple, and in this gathering in particular. This time with my lovely wife Jean, whose birthday actually is today. And to accept the Talbot Winchell Award 2019. I won't ask anyone to sing. When I came here in 2012, I promised my bosses in the Department of Foreign Affairs in Canberra, who were very nervous about such things, that I would be good while overseas and not cause any disturbances, diplomatic or otherwise. Well, on the day after the symposium, Hurricane Sandy came to town with a bit of wind and brought the Atlantic Ocean into the canyons of New York. I was a guest of the New York Port Authority in a homeless shelter for a week when my hotel was flooded. I won't say more about that, but I've been promised by Marty that it will not occur this time. Thank you. Oscar Wilde said, "The past is like a foreign country. Things are different there." I'm sure he was referring to dating and indexing. Anyway, we're doing well and do appreciate the hospitality and warm welcome that we've received. We're not here as individuals, but as representatives of our faithful General Semantics groups in Australia, whose greetings I carry. In particular, my friend and colleague Laurie Cox, now deceased, winner of the Talbot Winchell Award, was a true pioneer of General Semantics in Australia. Laurie was a friend of my father during the war in 1939 to 45, who was an uncle-type figure of mine all my life. So I grew up with Science and Sanity, language in thought and action, and levels of knowing and existence. In recent times, we've been pleased to promote Marty's fairy tales and other of the more accessible texts which we now have access to. Our friend David Hewson was here for GS Studies a number of times and continues as a most insightful and committed teacher. Pauline and Gavin Callaghan, a beautiful and welcoming home in Sydney for our seminars. Tom and Elle in Melbourne, and we keep touch with the wider community via the website and other social media. It's been said here previously that the discipline and institutions of General Semantics are showing their age, as a few of us members and supporters may be. Well, we're not alone. I think that the heyday of people joining organisations was probably in the middle of the 20th century. Organisations like political parties, unions, the scouting movement and religious attendance have all dropped off considerably in the last few decades in Australia and elsewhere. Many people no longer seek their social interaction or intellectual stimulation via the School of Arts, the Mechanics Institute, the Country Women's Association, or community service organisations, or their local church. Young people are generally respectful of the spirituality as part of the human condition, but cynical about institutional religion and dogma, as noted by Alfred Korzybski in The Manhood of Humanity, 1920. This is not helped, of course, by the scandals engulfing our religious leaders currently. Young people particularly seek community largely via social media. Instead of chilling out with half a dozen friends at the cafe or park, they commune with hundreds of Facebook so-called friends in cyberspace. The social implications of this are yet to be well understood. The Meetup website that we use is designed to encourage people into face-to-face contact, but has not been particularly successful for us. A great many people register an interest, ask questions to see what we're doing, but then they don't show up at meetings. I know that this is not specific to GS, it's pervasively a sign of our times. So this is a real challenge for us. It's not enough these days to write a great book, to conduct interesting and welcoming meetings, or guest speakers appearances in established community and academic events. We generally appreciate the excellent time-binding contributions by Bruce Kodish, Mary Marty Levinson, Ben Hawke, and our friend Milton, and many others, with the website and recent publications to pass to our children as an exercise in time-binding. And the loyalty and commitment of so many people here to develop and maintain the interest of activities around general semantics and engagement with the local community. We feel most welcome here, thank you, most privileged to receive the Talbot Winchell Award 2019, and look forward to working with you to promote the many joys and benefits that general semantics has to offer. Thank you.